Alright, we got a Chateau Class C in here. This is our inspection bay. And the folks are here who own this, and we are going to kind of give an idea of what we got. So we're just going to open this up. You can see down there all that squirreliness going right up like that. That's all delamination. So what we're going to do is probably take off this corner mold right here, and you can see it. Maybe you'll see it even a little better this way. Yep, you can see it all right there. So we're going to take that off. We got some bunk issues, and you got a typical roof that's all got all that die-cord junk on it anyway, so I don't think it's anything spectacular. But that's what we're going to do real quick. We just want to open it up, see how much we got, what we got, and so forth. And that's that. So let's get to work on it, and we'll see just how bad it is. But the bunk is all, oh, it is open here. You probably won't see anything as dark as it is, and my camera won't pick it up. I don't have a light, but all of it's all rotted. So I don't know if you could probably see a little squirreliness right in here, but we're going to have to replace the front. We're going to take the window out. They want to take the window out of this right here. We're going to get rid of that, and then we're going to run a new piece in here. And he's got holes in here that he had to drill in. So all this is going to get all replaced too. So that's what we're going to do. Take her apart, and we're going to find out what we got real quick. This is a platform. So the owner tried to fix it himself, which actually is pretty strong. The reason why we're going to take it all apart is because obviously the wood is kind of thin, which that isn't the end of the world, but we do want to get some more foam in there. You see it all down here, it's all falling out. It needs to be all glued together, and it's not glued together. So even though it looks strong, there's not enough glue to shake apart. Everybody loves aluminum frames. Let me show you something on these aluminum frames. No weld, no weld. Here's a little weld. No weld on the opposite side. That's it. That's all you get. That's all you get for your $1. These little snot welds. Look at this thing all jacked up right here. See how elevated it is? It's all twisted about. Look at this mess. So, obviously we're going to reframe it. I'm going to use that just as a guideline, and then I'll reframe the whole thing. But still, it's a mess. It needs some work. So that's that. And then this was the top right here. That's where the window was. We're going to just close it all up. We're going to get a whole new fiberglass on the front. So took it all apart. We've already got our radius built, so we're moving along with that. And then got the roof strip. This was your typical failed roof. Delamination everywhere. That's what we're doing now, skinning it. We're going to skin it all, and then obviously mold kill and get it all prepped. And some were worse than other areas, and then some wants to stay down. I don't like ripping it up unless it's coming up. If it's not coming up, leave it alone. It's stuck. That's the whole idea to it. And what happens when you start tearing into it like this, you end up with a little compromise right here where they're kind of pulling onto the foam, and I don't want that. You don't need to do that. That means that was stuck. So that means this was stuck. So they really didn't have to dig into all of this to get all that. You know, if it's stuck, it's stuck. If it's not, then move on. And you can skin right over it. You're not going to notice going over this. You're not going to notice that when you put another sheet on there. So if it was an issue, then I'd do it, but it's not. And then we got right here, we'll fix all this and brace it up, and we put the new decking in, put some more support on it. So we'll pull all that and we'll laminate it all back together like it should be. But some of this is all got some glue in there. So at the factory, they do these and get them all set. And when I say the factory, I don't mean where they actually build these. These usually are already made, and then they just go fetch one and they set it on when they know what they're building. Somebody else built this. And usually they're, as far as I know, they're vacuum packed. Meaning like they'll make them, they put them in a vacuum, so this way everything just stays nice and tight and flat. But one of the things we're noticing is right over here by this air conditioner, we got a very slight belly in this. So compared to like right over here, right behind that pile there, it looks like it's got just a shade of a crown, or at least more leveled out, shall I say. So we're going to overextend it. We're going to get it up a little bit, so and it won't have like this big camber. But then we glue it all back together and we release it, it'll try to fight itself against all the adhesive we use, and it's just not going to happen. So it'll stay nice and tight. I mean, it may relax just a bit, but that's the whole purpose of overextending it. So we'll get all that together too. But boy, what a mess, what a mess, what a mess. And still moving forward, I think we showed you all the lamination down on the back side here. And this is all de-lamed here. So we got the window out, and we're gonna peel this thing open and put a new piece of sheathing behind there and re-laminate the fiberglass back on. We're not going to take this fiberglass off. This is all staying. There's a little bit more up here on the side of the bunk of de-lam. You'll see some right here. So we'll see what's going on with this. But most of this is already loose. So when we pop that free over there, we'll probably be able to butterfly this thing open and do all the work we need to do. Gotta be real careful with it because sometimes it just doesn't want to cooperate. So we encourage. That's the word of the day, encourage. Okay, so this was the frame, and you remember me telling you how bad the welds were. This daggum piece fell right out. There's a whole bunch of holes in here. It's been drilled through numerous times. Look at this one here. There we go. Also strong. That's what it is. So I'm not going to use this frame. I said forget it. To me it's junk. So, and if I frame it, I know I got to use wood inside here, and I'm going to be dependent on this to help a little bit when I pull everything together. That's how some of them work, even though they're all glued together. Look at this one's already, you can see it kind of bending over there. I said forget it. We built a new one over here. So that's what we got. Framed it out a little better. It's still light, and then we're going to fill it. We're going to put some foam in there, some rigid foam, and then we put another sheet on it, and that's how it works. So we've got it all put together. Well, we're heading in the right direction. And this is all glued too. You can see all the glue in there actually. All of it's all glued. I mean, you can't put them together without any glue. That's just plain stupid. So, and then all these are got screws in them. I don't know if you're familiar with pocket screws, but these are pocket screws. Okay, that's a pocket screw right there. They go right in there. You can barely see the screws in there. And they sink all the way in and they pull it together real tight. Great joinery. It really is. It works real well. Especially if you glue it. Glue it. Glue is the key. Alright, so now we got this butterfly open, and the sheathing was all rotted behind there. We cleaned all this out, so we got to peel it back, get a new piece in there, and we're going to glue everything all back together. We're going to stickify it. You can see we got, even in the inside, we're going to see what we got going on there, get a new piece in there, and then we're also going to check this other side over here, make sure that's solid. But this is basically what the other side looked like. You can see how damaged that is. So we're gonna fillet all that off of there. But look at this siding all coming off right here. See it? Right here. You can see all the damage up here. That's a lot of damage. Boy, this is de-lam right here. So you have these plies right here. That's what they are. They're plies, hence plywood. This is really thin plywood, but you can see like that's already swelled up pretty bad right there. So you have all these plies on here, and these ones are all gone. So we got to get all of this bad stuff off, and we got to get all this off of here. This is still kind of damp too. All this stuff off of here, and clean this up so it's nice and smooth. Get some mold kill on there. I don't know how far back we're going with this. But there's quite a bit of it. So it looks like it's kind of stuck here, but we're not sure. So we're gonna have to check all that on the top as well, and then replace what we need to. We got a new ceiling panel up in there. And we skinned that with some white vinyl. And then over here, we had already opened that all the way up. We replaced all the wood. You can see it right there, all that fresh wood. We also got fresh on this side too. You can see we got damage on this. However, on this one, it seems pretty good, except for this just looks a little bit of area that we're gonna score like. So what we've done is we peeled all this back, and we already relaminated it. Let me get around this ladder. We already relaminated all of this all the way back to just about here on the window on the top there, and then all the way down. All that was all peeled back. That's why we got the storage box off. Now what we're doing, we got some more de-lam here, and we're going to have to peel this back too. That's what we're working on right now. So we got all this delamination in here. So we're going to peel this, and then we'll put a new piece of material in there, new piece of stock sheathing, glue it there, and then we can clean this piece up right here, the fiberglass, and we'll re-glue it there. don't know quite how far it goes, but I thought it went just at least the middle of the window, I thought. But we'll see when we start peeling it away. Because if it's stuck, it's stuck. If it's not, it's not. So that's us there. Then I'll show you what we're doing on this. This is our deck. It was all rotted. So we skinned it all up, cleaned it all up. We're going to redeck this with 3/8 plywood. We're not going to put the Luan back on this one because it's all shot. So I want some more strength in it. We'll be putting that on. What we're doing right now is there's no strength around here. This is just cheap alloy. And we have to fasten our curbs down. So what we're doing, and this also has failed. This had dropped in, the frame got tweaked. But anyhow, we're putting some steel in. This way, and it'll be locked up underneath the sheathing. So that's what we got going on there. So we're doing it to all of them, gluing them all down. Once you get them in there nice and tight, and then we've also got some bracing up in here too to help support the ceiling when we go to glue it all together. We really stretched past that window quite a bit. That is quite a bit on that window. I mean, yeah. So you can see all the rot that we had to take out. Oh, it's all the way over. Gee whiz, that's got to be what, 10 foot or so, anyways. Yeah, that's quite a bit. So that's what we're doing now, cleaning it all up. We're gonna stick on a new piece, a fresh piece of substrate behind there, and stick her back on. A lot of work. So that's how they frame it. If you've never seen the inside of how they do these, let me get you around here for a second. That's how they do it. I would like to see all this, and we will probably fill all this and get a little tightness on it, you know. I mean, it's still tight here, but this is glued. There's your interior wall right here. And there's another piece of 1/8 inch right here. And then you have the wallpaper. That's it. And then on this side, a piece of 1/8 inch that's all rotted down there. And then you'll have the fiberglass glued to it. And that's it too. So, well, we got to get everything all square. We got to find a transition where we can make it nice and square to bump up. And that's the hard part, is trying to reach in there to make that cut and everything. So, but yeah, there's a lot of work here for sure. You see, we got some, looks like a piece of wood that was in here that's rotted, so we got to address that and a couple other things that are in here to make sure we pull it back together right and don't forget anything before we close it all up. Okay, so what we did is filled in all this, like I was telling you. We want to get that a little tighter, and then we replace all that rotted wood in there, and that's a composite instead. We use that, and that's basically holding the wall up. That's what it's doing, is because that goes into the floor. It's the only thing we could figure. That's the only thing that's going to leash the wall back to the floor. So, and probably give it some support because the weight's sitting on this rail. So now we're going to just put in the new skin and glue it in there and find something else to do. Look at all our pretty wood. Everything's done nice. Now we got to glue that bigger piece back in here. But now we got all fresh wood in there. Everything's nice, everything's done. Obviously we got that in there to protect it so we don't get stuff in the window. So here we go. Time to rock and roll. Let's glue it back. Okie dokie. Now we're on the passenger side. We got about 20 or so inches that we removed out of this. And we're gonna stick her back on there, all clean, ready to go. So we had this side, then you saw on the opposite side, you saw how much we did. And then we're starting to get the decking going on the roof. So we're gonna get all that, hopefully get a roof on here real soon. Well, we got a Chateau all put together. All done. RVRoofInstall.pro. Got our stamp there, March 20th. Got this done here. You see all the curves we got welded in here. We got our boots welded in for the ladder. You have to, now when you climb up the ladder, we also fix that ladder. That ladder arm was all wonky, so we got that all taken care of. And we got all our curbs all welded in. Got 2 strikes of caulking down here. So everything's all done. Everything's all welded in, tight, clean. Good looking roof. Good looking roof. This is a commercial roof. This is Carlisle's 60 mil TPO. It's thermoplastic. And you see the way we did the antenna. So now, if anybody ever had any issue with these antenna, all you have to do is just take the nuts off of there, take the coax, pop this off, go in the store, get another one, pop it back on. 3 nuts to screw down. You don't have to deal with caulking, you don't have to deal with anything. These are a great system. And this is an automatic antenna. This one here, you just, I guess when you put your TV on it, it loads the channels. But it's a good little system of how the way we designed it, so you don't have to tear and get into caulking and redoing it, you know, especially when we want to get back to camping. So you can see on our air conditioners, we got these little stands right here. We got counter flash up on the front as well. That's that piece sticking down there. So we designed this up here, so when the water does roll down here, it'll get down below that curb. We've got a counter flash on the underside of the curb of the air conditioner, on the curb though, but the water will trickle down that way and hit here and run out that way. Very similar to the way we have this one. We got a counter flash on it, you can see that goes around there, so water can't get up underneath there. So everything has all 2 strikes. We also went around and resealed everything. We did rebuild the bunk. We'll show you that in a minute here. We went around on all the windows. We went around, caulked everything on here, caulked everything, went over it well. So we are all set. We can put new gutters on here. Got new gutter spouts, got all that. So these are a great shop. Probably needs to be washed. Put a broom to it. But you can kind of get an idea right here as well. You can see how we did the boots. So when you walk up the ladder, all these ladders kind of wobble around, and that's just a good way to prevent them from leaking. So and you can see we got the same curves. Everything's all welded. Everything's all welded together. So like I said, we went around and did all the windows. Went down the side, the corner mold, around the ladders, around the lights. Anywhere we thought water could get in, we went around it. Let's go see if we can take a look at the inside. We're going to have to pull this scaffold apart so I can open it. This is our front bunk. We replaced that. There was a window in there. Obviously went over all that. And there's all new fiberglass on the bottom and around this radius up here on the top bunk. And like I said, we went around all the windows, went around all the corner molds, went around everything. Went around all these windows, around the door, everywhere. And on this side, we had some really bad delamination. You can see we fixed all this. That's nice and tight, so we fixed all that. So I think we had another little piece on this other side. But like I said, we went around all the doors, all the lights, went around everything. And you have to go around everything, and you still got to inspect it even after it's done. It's just the way these things are. They're just maintenance hogs. But we had some issues on this side too that we fixed. So we even seal around these. You have to seal around every single thing. You just have to. All right, let's see if we can get inside. I'll show you the interior. This is our bunk. We just made it nice and white. That's it. Nice and white. So these pieces here, these are the original ones that came in. They didn't miter also well. There's a couple of chips out of those. But those are pieces that were, when the owner had to mail these back to us. We had taken them out. But that's it. It is nice and clean. We appreciate you watching.